Aloha. Aloha Ke Akua. Aloha Aina. Malama Pono. Amen. Okay, so it is morning, the 7th of April, 2025, and this is the second segment in a series. So this segment is about now. And the question is, for now, are we in something like a World War III or something like it? Well, let's check the boxes. So, before we go on, apologies, I need to assert copyright here. So, copyright 2025, Benjamin Lipman, conditional permission is given to copy, share, and distribute. Permission is conditionally given to distribute per share-alike license, e.g. with full attribution. This permission is conditional and subject to change. No permission is given to modify this content. Mahalo. I do not give permission to apply my content or likeness in any form to any application involving artificial intelligence. Okay, so, yeah, what is our time? So, war, what does war mean, right? So we have this culture wars going on. Now it's writ large and completely ridiculous and frightening, frankly, because we have people who are willing to disregard the rule of law, civil rights, arresting people without due process and shipping them to places where they could be killed. We have a massive trade war in play right now. The stock markets are tumbling. We absolutely have a cyber war in play right now. The phones are broken and weird, and the computers are broken and weird. The other day, I could only get blank white screens for certain websites. Computers will behave weirdly. They'll wake themselves up, and pop-up screens will come up out of nowhere, and pretty clearly obstruction efforts. And then we actually have real war right now. We have a war. Russia has attacked Ukraine, and there's even been threat of use of nuclear weapons there. There's been attack on a nuclear facility. Gaza is basically experiencing genocide, and that has gone to the criminal court. But what else? What really happened in Lahaina? The cell phones mysteriously went down. Police were barricading the roads, apparently, or something like that. Or so people reported. And then LA, like 5 fires simultaneously all around LA when there were high winds. It's almost like there was an attempt to burn down all of LA. But whatever happened in LA, it is what it is. Then there's the Baltimore Bridge, where a ferry mysteriously lost electrical power and shut down commerce, a lot of commerce on the East Coast for quite some time. There have been a lot more plane crashes than might normally be expected, and that Black Hawk helicopter kind of was in a mysteriously improper elevation. Cyber attack? And we had a fire just down the way, and the way the telecoms went down was strange and didn't make any sense at all. And then what's going on in my life with computers and cell phones is absolutely cyber warfare going on. And there's been a lot of report of cyber warfare and cyber attack up and down across the board that's happening. So if World War III was being fought in our time, of course cyber war would be part of it. Proxy wars, an attempt to create civil war, which may have been what would have happened if the election hadn't gone the way it did. And I'm not convinced that the election was free and fair because of the disinformation campaign, which is basically a cyber attack in a certain way, but it's kind of something else too. And we know the Russians are involved in that. There's the beam weapons, and pretty clearly, well, definitely Russia, probably China, and probably domestic to Elon Musk and so on. Any 5G basically can do this, in addition to actual military technology. So, I don't know. Is it? Well, so one thing I want to share today is, I have my own like drama stories. I'm living my life. I'm surviving comfortably. I've invented headgear that makes it possible. The other day it was so high that if I didn't have protection, so I had like my double layer and then yet another layer, and I was okay. But it's everything I've got, and I could make it. It was like a different level, at the level probably where it was when I actually fled the island back in early June, I think it was, thinking that if I went somewhere else in the world, maybe it wouldn't be happening, and that turned out not to be true. So World War, involving cyber weapons, beam weapons, facial recognition, artificial intelligence, and pretty much any electronic device made in the last, 10 years across the board. But what I want to share today is dealing with this, what is the existential threat? Somehow, before the election, the one computer I was working on just meltdown, and I lost the ability to use any computer right before the election. I've kind of managed to get back, but only by goosing things along. It's not a normal reality at all. So what is the existential threat? Well, one of our big crises is the possibility of a nuclear exchange, obviously. We already have Putin threatening to use nuclear weapons on Europe, which is using nuclear weapons, right? If you're using it as a bullying tactic, you're using it. If you have a knife and you threaten to hurt someone or stab them to death with the knife, or give me your wallet, that's using the knife to rob, right? All right, so how have I dealt? I've dealt with this quite some time ago. Before COVID in Hawaii, probably a cyber attack, or could have been a cyber attack, or it was a cyber something. Everyone got a text message saying that there were ballistic missiles incoming, and we're all going to die. Fortunately, I had put my phone to sleep, and both my current wife at the time and I didn't hear about that. We got the text retraction. Oops, that wasn't true. Only one person died of a heart attack from that, but that is basically a cyber event, at least, involving computers and telecom and creating terror in the populace. But it sort of illustrates that, there is this real and present danger. We have nuclear armed countries in a full-blown, massive cyber war and trade war with each other now, and a real shooting war, essentially, where U.S. weapons are now being used to actually hit inside Russian territory. The Russians obviously are using Iranian drones and North Korean soldiers, and and probably has given North Korea a lot of nuclear secrets, and ditto Iran. Which is very likely at this point. So how do I deal with that? My secret weapon is I have 8 rolls of duct tape. And I have a building, not this one, but another one, that's a concrete building, but it doesn't matter, any building. And it has, actually this building has much better windows. So, judgment call, I suppose. But I have a plan of what I'm going to do. Like if that text comes through or there's a siren alert or whatever, what am I going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into the building where I have some water reserved. I have water on tap. I have water in my toilet tank, which worst case scenario I could drink. It's just water. And I've got some food that I could eat if I don't have heat. Inside the building I don't have like gas canisters, but I do have backup ways to heat food if I need to, if electricity is down. In fact, I've got a couple options. I could always make fires. But really, what you're worried about in a nuclear exchange is the first 3 days. Because that's when the radiation levels are high. That's the lethal time. That's when you don't want to go outside. So basically, I'm preparing to seal windows with duct tape and hunker down for 3 days. So I've got blankets, pillows, water, an emergency radio. Actually, I need to move it, but I have an emergency radio wrapped up in foil that I can start with a crank. If we're close to any exchange, there will be an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse. All the modern cars probably won't run. In fact, that will prop out, if you're close, pretty much all the electronics, unless they're protected. So the other thing I have is, this is old because I lived in Boulder and I was buying property for the commercial center where there used to be a uranium mill. And I had to characterize the site. So I bought this Geiger counter. This is out of Tennessee, a place called The Farm. This is the DigiAlert. I think they still make it. I have no idea. This is SE International, Summertown, Tennessee. P.O. Box 39, S.E.E. International Inc. P.O. Box 39, Summertown, Tennessee, 38483 USA. No idea if they're still in business. But what's cool about this one is it detects alpha, beta, gamma, and X-ray radiation. So it's a broad spectrum hazard detector. And then, as with all electronics in Hawaii, if you're storing them, you need to store batteries separately. So the batteries aren't in here, but I don't need a screwdriver or anything to put the batteries in here should I need to. I had it wrapped up in the foil I had at the time, which is very thin. So I'm wrapping my device in foil, and then I'm keeping it inside a metal box. And the idea is that the hard metal box, and then with the foil inside, I'm going to have a little bit of a dielectric effect, but basically the hard metal box, it is hoped, and then foil as well. That will protect this really mission critical device from an electromagnetic pulse, should that be needed. So then, God forbid, there is a nuclear exchange. I will be on this island with a Geiger counter, possibly helping my entire community. In Boulder, I was aware when the Department of Energy came out to check out one radiological hazard, all they had was a device that could test gamma, but we're next to Rocky Flats. What do we need to be looking for from plutonium primarily? Alpha. And so this device would pick it up, but their device wouldn't as much, unless the levels are fairly high. But plutonium is so poisonous, if there's some, you really want to know about it. That's not really the concern here. It's fallout. It's going to be dust laden with, I think, strontium and some other things. But the radiological hazard is going to be down low enough that it's probably safe to go outside after 3 days. And there will be, advice on the radio if you have a working radio. But basically, psychologically, how do you or your family, how do you prepare your ohana? Like, what do you do? Because it's so horrible. It's so terrifying. And this is what I'm doing. I do this, and then it's out of mind. Because I know I'm going way above what most people are going to do, but I'm ready. And the water, the food, that's all just basic hurricane prep that we need to do anyway. Being prepared to get by without electricity. We had a windstorm. There was no electricity. It did come back in due course, but having backup ways to cook food, or if you're in a cold climate, knowing how you're going to heat your house. During Y2K, I prepared to keep a couple hundred people alive if we lost every source of power, gas and electric, because we had a wood burning stove in a big room, and I had a bunch of oak. Just I had it ready in case, because we didn't really know how Y2K was going to go. And then the one other thing is, because of strontium, if you can take iodine somehow, and it could be, I don't know, maybe betadine in water, I don't know if I would do that, but an iodine supplement, but quite adequate is just having seaweed around. That for 3 days you're just going to eat a bunch of seaweed as part of your diet. Now I've got this old seaweed, it's now out of date, so I'm going to have to buy new seaweed. Now I favor Korean seaweed, not Japanese, especially back then, after Fukushima. We keep having these nuclear accidents. We need to stop fishing. We just need to shut it down. It's not good for us or the planet. It's not the right way. Geothermal energy is our energy source for the next 10,000 years. And the hydrocarbon industry actually is basically poised to lead the charge on this. And it's clean, and people will be very, very happy with them if they would shift gears and give us hydrothermal energy. Basically the tech is just right there. So that's it. You just have to be prepared to sit tight, hunker down for 3 days. Maybe you have card games and, just some options. You just know what you're going to do. Have your Pakalolo stash, whatever. Basic first aid, flashlights, battery powered. And if it's just real batteries, then you have to keep them out of the flashlight and you have to refresh your batteries. You just have a plan. So then in your mind, it's like, okay, I've done this. I have a plan. Now I don't have to think about it anymore, because if I get hit directly by a nuclear weapon, of course, that's it. The shadow on the wall, and that's probably better anyway, because you don't want to be dying of radiation sickness. No. But a lot of people survived in Japan. It's amazing. Part of it might be their seaweed diet. I don't think people have studied that. All right. So that's got that off my chest. I've been wanting to do that for a while, to share it, because that's how I'm dealing with this very, very terrifying possibility. Okay. So that's it. Yeah, it seems like I don't know. I mean, Iran is about to get its bomb, or already has something, and you have a sense that Israel / MAGA people are actually trying to create an excuse to bomb Iran out of existence, like Iran would like to bomb Israel out of existence. And they've all got nukes, so I'm pretty far away from that. But for 3 days, I don't know how long the wind takes to get here, so it might be, when the plume comes and we all have to go hide inside for 3 days, I don't know. But I've got my Geiger counter. And I used to use it, and when they punctured the barrel at Rocky Flats, my alarm went off. All right, World War III. So World War III is clearly a techno war. It's like a neuro-techno war, because disinformation, affecting people's minds and the way they think and what they think is true, and mistrusting vaccines and mistrusting a good leadership, claiming that people who are telling the truth are lying, and lying about lying. It's a neuro-techno war. Now, what I've seen is that every electronic device may either be hacked or built for mischief that this was possible. So we have the Black Hawk helicopter that somehow was not where it was supposed to be, somehow. What I would say is, I mean, if we go back to this axis concept, you know, we almost have an axis of evil, axis of greed, but yeah, evil is a strong word, but it may not be totally wrong here, because I think these people are actually trying to control the world with money and technology. And never mind, at some point, maybe guns. AI is involved, profiling people and then manipulating them. Specifically, Cambridge Analytica around the 2016 election, they were profiling people and they were looking for people who believed in aliens because they were more gullible. And I had some friends who are really good people. They ended up being Trump supporters because of manipulation at that scale. But that Cambridge Analytica stuff, that was kindergarten compared to what's being done now. Now AI can generate an entire totally realistic looking video and definitely audio. And what we have is a current administration that's dismantling all the mechanisms for safeguards. And so then we have the non-enforcement of the TikTok ban that was generally, I think unanimously approved by Congress. All right, what else am I doing? Well, I tried to keep my gas tank over half a gallon, that's just hurricane prep here anyway, but in a possible trade war, the boats don't come, World War III type of thing, at least I'll have some gas in my truck. And I have ways of powering my hand tools with solar. What I'd really like is a little electric car that I could actually run on solar. Like, I would feel very comfortable if I had that, but that's financially beyond my means. Maybe I'll do a GoFundMe for that. But so then we have 5G wireless microwave beam weapon technology. And that's it's actually permitted for crowd control. And so it can be used to disorient people. It's a neurological attack. But what I'm seeing is, I mean, if you put someone under heavy microwave radiation for long enough, you can actually damage their physical body. And I actually think certainly shorten people's lives, but possibly actually kill them. Inducing cancers, whatnot, all possible, and clearly military, clearly illegal, clearly civil rights violation. That's my life. So that's all happening. How long will this go on? Well, I guess until the authoritarian powers have their way with everybody, and then it might be carrying on to maintain that power structure, or something is done about it. We did have the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, and World War II, all about basically overthrowing authoritarian fascism structures, right? Slavery, or actual fascism in World War II, and this looks a lot like neo-fascism, authoritarian power. The Revolutionary War was essentially authoritarian rule of King George that the smugglers here didn't like. And so essentially we have imperial capitalism in contrast with the democratic ideals and civil rights, and that's sort of been mixed in this country, but now they're being pulled apart because more and more people are really wanting to live the democratic ideals and civil rights, gay rights, these things, taking care of our world as this becomes more and more of an issue, biodiversity issue, climate emergency, and so on. And then a regression toward pure, naked capitalism and corporate hegemony and oligarch rule. And so there's this polarity, right? The culture war But there are a lot of people who've been drawn into that who actually are just common people who actually probably just want a fair shake in life. But they've been deluded into believing that, I don't know, if someone's gay, they're getting special treatment and blah, blah, blah. That they get black skin, they're taking away their rights. And it's actually the opposite. Black people are being murdered still by police. For the most part, that's what's going on. But, you know, white people. So, around that, well, I have a piece on that that's coming later, I think. But how do we like get into this? Like, so in the previous video, which probably is a couple chunks, it's like there's an inner wolf, and then like the inner Jesus, and we're human. We have both, but the wolf can be cultivated by people who are wolfy, or the Jesus can be cultivated by other people who are Jesus-y, right? And our work is to really understand our inner wolf, conquer the inner wolf, and be more like Jesus, be more loving, more caring, more friendly. Now, so yeah, what to do, right? I'm making the case that we may actually be, like, it's not normal situation, it's actually a war. In fact, the Trump administration has said that Venezuela is at war with the United States. They've actually declared war, so a declaration of war has been made. Who are the foreign enemies? Think about it. And should it come to pass that actually like gets laid out, that we're at war, there are foreign enemies who are aiding and abetting the foreign powers that mean us harm, where do you want to be when the mob comes, or in the history books? Where would Jesus be, right? I would choose Jesus, hands down. I've sort of chosen to be on the good side, the vertical axis. I'm here to invite you all humans, to choose to be with divinity and know your inner wolf, know the part of you that is greedy. We're all greedy, we're all human, right? We all want our family to do well. We all want to be sure we have food tomorrow. We want to know our children are going to be safe and happy, and their children. And this World War III level cyber war, cyber apocalypse reality that has been invoked by big tech, by big money, by big corporate power, by governments, some of whom are not friendly to humans or the planet at large. This is presenting an existential threat to all humans. That's my point, where this goes. That's this future. This is the next lecture. This is an existential threat to humanity. Your children. I don't care who you are, where you are, what your affinity is, how much Fox News you watch, any of it. Your children's lives are at risk from this, and your children's children's children, their future is absolutely in jeopardy from a constellation of crises. This cyber apocalypse is definitely one of them, but we have a climate emergency, we have a biodiversity emergency. It's very likely that we're going to be facing famine and plague and refugees on a scale that we just haven't seen before. Tennessee is having major climate problem right now. We're in drought here, a place that normally has very consistent weather. It's just not here this year. I was out watering, we'll say last night, never had to do this in March. We have never had drought like this. This is what's happening. A lot of things are going on. But it is not time to panic and be stupid and let people mislead you and let the wolves, let the foxes into the chicken coop, as it were, or whatever. No. This is a time for mutual respect and cooperation. And what has been done to international trade and what the United States, as certain people in the United States, have done to the international order of trust and our allies and all, it's wrong. It's not the right way to go about taking care of the people or the world at large. I don't know if I have more to say. I wanted to just drop in this basic information. So yeah, eat seaweed and have it around and have some water, bottles kicking around, keep them refilled. Just have a plan. So then, and the other thing I'll do is if there's a warning, I'll clean the surfaces. So I have a bottle of alcohol around and some paper towels. I'll clean the surfaces where I would put duct tape. So if things are looking hairy, like there really could be a nuclear exchange, that's the one thing I'm going to do. And other than that, there isn't anything I can do, right? I might let my friends know I'm creating a bunker, quasi. It's not underground or anything like that. It's not really tight, but it's what I've got. And so it's going to be better than a lot of wooden structures, and it's going to be airtight. And so, yeah, it's an option. It's a plan. I have a plan. Is it going to help me very much if things get really bad? No, not at all. But if there's a limited exchange and we have fallout, yeah, and I have some notice, I'll probably survive it. I've survived a whole bunch of stuff that was probably supposed to kill me already, so and a lot of that I had no plan. But when it comes to this beam weapon that I think on Saturday when they had all the protests, 1,000 protests all over the country, I'm pretty sure they were, whoever it was, didn't want me using computers or maybe surviving. The beam level was the most intense I've ever experienced, and I had protection. I had it put on everything I had, and I made it through. It was very difficult, but I made it through. So yeah, we'll make it, and we'll make it through this rise of fascism in the world. But we have to be adult, we have to be open-eyed, we have to meet the truth, we have to talk about the truth. We have to search for the actual truth. And we have to refuse the lies, not buy into the lies, and not allow the liars to make the big pronounced lies and get away with it, because that's what dictators and fascists do. And I grew up free. I'm an American. Live free or die. And I am that way. Now I have so much divinity in my life that if I leave my body, in a way it's going to be an enormous release and a joy. So given what I'm dealing with, I'm here for you. I'm sticking around to help the people and guide the people to God, to save the souls. Conquer your wolf, polish the mirror, become a saint, become a Buddha, aspire to become a saint, aspire to be like a Buddha, aspire to be like Jesus. Just ask yourself, what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? Just aspire. You're human. We're all human. We all have the inner monster, the wolf, right? It's who we are. We're all animals. We're all actually, in fact, monkeys, right? We have sexual urges. That's normal. It's healthy. How do you deal with that? Do you go rape people? Do you go misbehave? Do you abuse pornography? Do you protect your children from the worst of the internet? What would Jesus do? Okay, so closing. And then the other one I go over this. Asatoma Satgamya. from unhappiness to happiness. Actually, that's from untruth to truth. Asatoma satgamaya. I think I got that wrong. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. From darkness to light, divine light. Mrityormamritam gamaya. From death to the deathlessness, to the eternal life, what Jesus talked about. Absolutely possible. That's why I don't fear my death. I don't. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This is peace. To live a life where you know you are in this path from untruth to truth. You're actively looking for what is in fact true. Both the relative truth, but the absolute truth as well. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. I'm working from darkness, the darkness in my life, the darkness in my heart, the darkness in the world, toward divine light. In my heart, I'm bringing the light of Jesus or God into my heart, and I'm also bringing that into the world. I'm bringing divine light into the world by being a good person, by aspiring to be a holy person. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. I'm making the transition from focus and the possibility of death being the end of everything to an eternal life, a soul that carries forward beyond this body, this lifetime. And there's so many different ways that manifests. Here in Hawaii, we have our own way with the ancestors here, for us, with us, living with us, or being with us. That's actually totally legit. There's a lot of different options. It's energy follows awareness. What do you want? And so true in life, in politics. What do we want, right? So I'm just making the case, okay, let's not be frozen up in terrible fear around the really big one. Okay, this is what I'm doing. And then, yeah, I'm talking about it because it feels constructive. And it's like, okay, what else am I going to do? What can I do? I'm just a farmer out in the middle of the Pacific, but I have access to the internet and I've got this old video camera. I wish I had better equipment, but right now I don't want to try to buy anything new because it's probably not going to work right. Because there is this cyber war reality, and most of the tech companies are part of this oligarch thing, it seems. Anyway, Aloha Ke Akua. 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 Aloha Aina. 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 Malama Pono. Amen. Hariom Tat Sat. Mahalo for watching.